Okay, so I just have so much heaviness on myself, and I keep asking myself, why did I even let myself get to that point of heaviness and burdenness and all burdenness of having burdens and this heavy feeling in my heart and all this other stuff. Okay, so this is what happened. I went I went to go back to my hometown in Indiana, um, to give back. That was my whole purpose of giving back, you know, because that's the first thing people say, they never give back. Well, that's not true. It's just so many hindrances to giving back to these certain areas because people know that there's a need and there's so many greedy people out there. And this example is nothing different. So I go there and I'm like, okay, do you guys need something to be a facilitator? You know, I facilitate things, giving it to them free of charge, not even asking them for any kind of donation, anything like that. So this lady, which I've known for years, she's like, yeah, well, you know, blah blah this, and she's like talking about her mission projects that she does, and she dwindles off and she starts talking about because she knows that I have a group that raises money for girls and children in Haiti, um, so that they can go to school and get an education to get better with themselves, better their lives. So she gets up and she tells me about her trip to India, which, mind you, well, that's a whole nother, a huge story. She went to this trip in India for a sewing machine job to go give them sewing machines so the women there can learn a trade and they work. They go to these classes, so and then when they graduate, they have these sewing machines so that they can make their own things. In my head, I was thinking something else, just because of me traveling a lot and I've seen some of these things happen and transpire. So, and it's supposed to be helping with, so they won't have to sell their bodies or cut their hair, which is all good. So she tells me that the sewing machine is $150 and that she needed that donation, which I didn't have a problem with, even though that was kind of pricey because you know how to break it down. But anyhow, there's other overheads and other expenses. So I didn't really trip off of that. What I got, what I started tripping off of was that not only did she want me to buy that, she wanted me to sell these scarves. They're like raising money for these scarves, and the scarves were like $10. Oh, excuse me. Every woman is supposed to sell a box or whatever, and I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm not even in that group. I have enough on my plate, but you're trying to put what you're doing on my plate, put what you're doing on my plate when I have a whole not-for-profit myself. Not to knock anyone down because there's so much help that's needed, but how is this furthering both of us from our goal? This is only helping you, and this is setting me back. So I said, no, I cannot do that. I will make a donation. I definitely probably could have sold those scarves, but I was just like, and I was hesitant. Then she says, now, as I'm talking about being a facilitator for the shelter that she works for, which is her arena for her to go into there and to find the talent and the acquisition and people with the skills to be a facilitator. So that's why I'm going through that portal. I wasn't trying to look for any handouts, anything like that. That is just protocol just to go through her. She is the person to go to. I just so happened to know her because my old church and her old church fellowship together and like that. So and she does a lot of mission work, so of course. So then she gets up and she starts talking about her women's retreat, which I've went to. I've donated to. I will always support women activities, women uniting, making people better. I will always support that, no matter what arena it is, because I'm a firm believer of that. So she wanted me to go and sit in the booth. Now, I have my own lipstick company. She wanted me to sit in the booth and have a booth table and talk about, because they wanted an international table, and she wanted me to talk about Haiti and to talk about India, which she went to in the things, and to sell her scarves for $10. And if they buy the scarf for $10, then they get the lipstick for free. Where do you do that at? What kind of belligerent Tom freaking foolery is this? And I literally had to just cut her off and say, no, I'm not going to do that, even though I had another engagement. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to take time out of my busy schedule, because first of all, you don't care about my time because you're wasting my time on this phone anyway. But I'm going to take time out of my busy schedule to clear it for you, spend money to travel to a whole nother city different from you guys, spend money on a hotel for a couple of days, make product, buy product, create another product, take the time to create the product, and give it to you for free. So, and she says it's for a good cause. Like, whose good cause? Yeah, it's for a good cause for you not to, so you can look good and everything. What kind of cause? So you're saying that the girls in India are more important than the teenage girls that I'm dealing with in Haiti? You know, those are grown women that you're dealing with. I'm dealing with 13 and 14-year-olds. And either way, I'm not going to compare that, because that's not the point. That's not the point, because both, if they're really working towards something, it's desperate that you do help and everything. But my thing is, why do you have to try to go and knock somebody else down, or pull their coattail like that? That's just crazy. That's not good business practices. So then she tells me, okay, well, they're doing something at she brings it back to the shelter, which was the whole main purpose of me calling her at the shelter. Okay, I didn't call her on her personal phone. I called her at the freaking shelter. So she shouldn't even been talking about this kind of business on that line. But nevertheless, she starts talking about how I can, donate some of my lipsticks and stuff for Valentine's Day. And I'm like, okay, that sounds great. So where are the forms? And she's like, what forms? I'm like, the forms to write off my taxable donation. Am I supposed to just automatically just lose out on the money? What's going to happen? Because the light bills are still due. Like in my house and at that shelter in Haiti, the light bills are still due. Those girls don't get, they don't get books because you did a good service of giving someone something free. Like I didn't understand that at all. So, and then she sounded like, well, I thought okay, I am giving that stuff, but you have to do everything in procedure, in order, in procedure. And you're telling me, see, this is what bothers me. How can you get mad at someone